Hey, it's Classic King here, back again with another video. Once again, I hope that whoever watches this, it can help you. Um, I know there's a lot of things in this world that people are going through, and one of the biggest things right now is relationships, marriages. So I hope that this video can help. Now, I can only really talk from a man's standpoint, because that's my personal experiences as a man. But I'll try to hit on some key points maybe for you ladies um, at the end of when I'm done talking about my man's point of view. So why are relationships fulfilling? These are for people who want fulfilling relationships. Now, if you got friends with benefits or just somebody that just passing by, then this may not be for you. But for people who want to have fulfilling relationships, fulfilling marriages, um, this video may be for you. Now, one of the first things when it comes to us men is we have to take control over our household, over our relationships. We are responsible for the projection, for the path, the journey of our relationship, of our marriages. All right. We can't blame or make excuses for anything outside of that, whether it be other people, social media, work. You know, um, we have to put in the work to make sure we monitor everything that's coming into the relationship from all areas. All right, we are leaders. We are the leaders of the household. Even if your woman makes more money than you, men, we still have to be the leader. We still have to lead. All right, it is our responsibility. It falls back on us. All right. Um, Now, that's kind of the second thing. The most important thing, starting from the top, is putting God first. Now, a family that prays together stays together. And as I'm getting older in life, progressing, I'm really starting to find that is very much true. That is very much true. Praying, meditation, manifesting. As long as God is in that and it's not some new age stuff, as long as God is in the foundation of that, that is very important. Um, Family prayer, and also working faith as a team. If you guys want to be blessed in a relationship, that means as a team, as a couple, you got to go into the community and help other people. Maybe you could maybe start out by helping other couples somehow. It doesn't even matter what you do, but go as a couple, go as a team to go help other people outside of the relationship, because that those blessings will flow right back into the relationship. Okay. Um, Now I'm about to start getting into the real meat of this video, and I'm gonna start off by highlighting trauma. Okay. Trauma runs rampant in our communities, black and brown communities, and just any community really. This video isn't necessarily for a black and brown. This is for black, white, red, yellow, whoever. I hope that this can help anybody and everybody. Okay. Trauma. A lot of us men, we're dealing with a lot of trauma in life, suffering from a lot of um, depression, anxiety, frustration, anger, resentment. You know, all these negative emotions. Um, and a lot of times it starts from fatherless homes. We got a lot of daddy issues, whether we're trying not to be daddy, we're trying to live up to be daddy. Um, there's a lot of fatherless homes and a lot of father issues in us men that we need to be able to sort out, okay? Because within that, a lot of us have grown up with single mothers. If we didn't have a tribe to raise us, I was grateful to have a tribe that raised me. But even with that, I had a single mother. So in some instances, if your mother isn't on the opposite side of being maybe the disciplinarian or the the one that had a little bit more better handle on her emotions. Um, a lot of men grow up in single parent households with mothers that their emotions may be out of control, maybe everywhere. It's just, you know, and that may fall into our psyche. You know, some men may think, oh, that's how you got to deal with things. It's from how your mother dealt with things, all right? And we got to learn to want to do better when it comes to being a man, all right? Growing up in the ghetto, the trenches, in a bad neighborhood, the projects, I was very blessed to have been adopted when I was 6. I talk about it in one of my other videos. And that really brought me out of that. So I had a different view on life. Um, but a lot of us are growing up in environments that are not conducive to our well-being, that's not progressive for the life that we deserve to live. And with that comes a lot of us see a lot of death around us, you know, and that could be whether you're in the ghetto or not. In the black and brown communities, there's just a lot of death, and that can play a big psyche on our mind, because we may think that it's part of life. Like, hey, if I die before I'm 25, it's part of life. But no, it's way more to life than that. All right. Wanting to do better, but maybe a lot of us are juggling work, family, friends, and our own emotions. That's a lot to deal with as a man. Go out into the world, put your 9 to 5 in. You're exhausted, then come home, have to deal with the family, the friends, and try to manage your own emotions. That could be very overwhelming for some people. All right, next bullet is false impressions of what it is to be a man. And that includes misogyny, that includes money worship, um, trying to impress other people that may not even care about you. Um, and there's also a lot of bad influence, like Kevin Samuels. Um, God bless his soul, but that was a lot of misogynistic views that he had. You know, um, the whole MGTOW thing. Us men, we need our women. We need our women. All right, just like our women need us. The thing about it, we have to be those leaders. We have to be the leaders. All right. Um, there's been a lot of misogynistic views, and we've been played against each other, battle of the sexes. But in reality, we're here together. We don't have to be enemies. I love you. You love me. We both want a fulfilling relationship. All right. I know one of us or both of us are dealing with trauma and whatnot, but let's try not to have us be played as enemies. You know, um, money worship. Money ain't everything, bro. Money ain't everything. No matter how much money I had, I was never happy with the money. I would spend my money for my friends, for my family, for my relationship to have a good time. You know, um, in some ways I could be cheap too, but money does never bring any real happiness. Because what is a man to gain the whole world but loses his soul? All right. Also, a lot of us we get in the habit of going for the quote the worldly baddie, what's on the outside of what social media, the internet, TV says what a bad woman is, what a good looking woman is. But what we need to really start searching, a real baddie, a real baddie starts from inside of a woman. All right, she's willing to deal with all your mess, and she's willing to edify you, to elevate you, and she's willing to speak life into you. That is a baddie. That is a baddie. Because once he gets 50, 60 years old, all them implants and BBLs, you know what I mean? Just imagine how that's going to start looking. Now, ladies, if you got those things, hey, that's on you. You know, I'm not down anybody for having those things, but you gotta understand if you want a fulfilling relationship and you have those things, you gotta be real careful about the men that you're dating, because they see you first. They see your outside first, so they're going to be attracted with that first. All right, so just be more careful and have better discernment. If that's what you want for your body, hey, I'm not here to judge anybody on that, but just take more discernment um, when picking the men that you want to deal with. Um, yeah, and also to go back with trying to impress people. Like a lot of men trying to impress their homies, trying to impress the next man who may not even care anything about them. Trying to impress their friends who are in the same boat as them. You know, for what? Going broke for nothing. We gotta get out that bad habit. Throwing money in the booty club. Throwing money in just a regular club. What's that I seen? Was it in Houston somewhere? They was just pouring out bottles and see who got the most money to pour out liquor. That is the most foolish thing ever. Foolish. What do you got to impress people for? There's people with way more money than you. There's always somebody with more money than you. So you trying to impress other people with the money that you have, it's foolish. Go ahead and use that money wisely. Make something of that money. Start building wealth, generational wealth. That is very important in our families, in our relationships that we have today. We got to start building generational wealth, myself included. So a lot of these things that I'm talking about is coming from more personally my own experience in life. I'm not an advisor, not a consultant, not a counselor, not a psychologist. Everything I'm speaking on is really just my own lessons in life, because life is the best teacher, and I'm just speaking on what I know from the lessons I've learned. Um, all right, here trying to get down into some of the bigger issues. Usage. Oof, that's a big one, especially in this day and time. Everybody's trying to get away from their problems, run away from it, or just not think about it, sedate themselves. Um, we got to do better, man, because that doesn't allow us as men to be good leaders in our relationships if we don't have a clear mind to make a plan, if we don't have a clear mind to communicate well, if we don't have a clear mind to lead and protect against whatever else that may enter our family, it may enter our house. So we have to be sober. I could be honest and say I didn't do anything in life as far as drug usage until I turned 24. I started smoking marijuana, and I was just stressed out. I started smoking from stress. That's how I got started smoking marijuana, was just stress. And then it came more recreational, but then it started becoming back again, dealing with stress, trying to cope. And I started to realize that, so kind of put the marijuana on the back burner, and never been a big drinker in life either, but I could see the past several years of my life probably been drinking a little more, been stressed out from work. It's been a lot going on in my life, and I've been trying to cope with the wrong things. And drugs, you may think they're helping, but if you don't put in the real work, it's not helping. It's not helping. You're only prolonging the inevitable, and that's your own demise in any type of way. So try to cut back on the drug usage and even the alcohol. Um, Lack of mentorship. Yeah, men, we need more mentors in our lives. We can't rely on our brother, our I'll say brother, not meaning like maybe somebody that's in the same boat as you. You got to look for people that are doing better than you, or people that may be in the position that you would like to be, even if they're younger than you. They may be in a higher position um, than what you want to be. So seek those people out. All right, get some type of mentorship, so that way people can hold you accountable um, for what you're doing in life and what you're not doing in life. Lack of knowledge. Oof, this is a very big one. It seems like a lot of people are afraid of knowledge. Listen, if you don't control yourself or you don't have a control over your life, somebody's going to control it for you. If you have lack of knowledge, people are going to use and abuse you. They're going to keep getting over on you. So knowledge is big. All right, men, gain more knowledge. Don't be afraid to be still, sit down, open up a book. All right, if you want a fulfilling relationship, fulfilling careers, don't be afraid to open up a book. And a lot of times, YouTube, there's a whole lot of information on YouTube. So if you're having trouble reading, go on YouTube and find people that may be able to help you, or different resources that may be able to help you with more knowledge in what you're going through. All right. Seeking power. I know a lot of us men in this world, we're taught that if you don't have no power, you're nothing. That's not true. Don't seek out power. Just seek to be the best that you can be. The best that you can be in life. All right? Because when you're the best you and you're naturally gifted and you are expressing those gifts, people are going to be drawn to you. And when people are drawn to you, you're naturally going to gain some sort of power. But use that wisely. Some people have power and they misuse it. So if you do have some type of power, use it wisely, but don't necessarily go looking for power in life. Lack of affection. It doesn't apply to everybody. Even all of my things that I'm hitting may not apply to everybody. Just take out what you need and chew on it and eat it. But if it doesn't affect you, if it's not something that you have a problem with, disregard it. But lack of affection is a big one for men because we're taught we got to be the big, strong protectors. We can't have no feelings. We got to be cold-hearted, cold-shouldered. But most importantly, a lot of women just want affection. Just want us to let her know that she means something. So we gotta shed that hardness, that tough shell in us. Especially if we want fulfilling relationships, we have to be more affectionate. Not listening well or not being attentive. Sometimes going in one ear and out the other. She could be having a whole conversation with us, and we have a whole conversation in our own head. That goes for both parties. Men and women do it, but probably more so. It's probably known for men to do it. She could go in a whole 20-minute rant. Are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening. What I said? Uh, so yeah, learn to listen well and be more attentive to her. All right, that's very important. If you want a fulfilling relationship, learn to be more attentive to what your lady is saying and be interested in some of the things that she's interested in, even if you don't care about it. Just show a little bit of interest. All right. Don't think that we know everything because we don't. All right. There's things that she could have went to school for that she may have more knowledge of that she could school us on. So stop trying to be a big man, think that you know everything because you heard it on YouTube or saw it somewhere. It's always a give and take. All right, there's gonna be things that she's good at that you're not, and you got to learn how to let her lead. Just like there's things that you're good at that she's not, and you're going to be the leader. So never be ashamed of letting your woman lead. It's a partnership, not a dictatorship. Taking the wrong advice from people. That goes back kind of with mentorship, because we be taking the wrong advice from people, saying, "Oh man, F her, bro. Man, F her, bro," or whatever. And that's not the right way to think. That's not the right way we need to go about our relationships. If you really love somebody and somebody's telling you, "Oh man, don't worry about her," or "do your own thing," don't listen to that advice, man. If you really love her and really want a fulfilling relationship, seek advice from people who actually have good advice. people who may be going through the same thing that you're going, or maybe gotten over, um, gotten past some of the things that you've been going through. You know, seek people that are in a much better place than you are, not people in the same boat, or not people that are in a lesser place, a lower place than what your relationship is in. All right, definitely advice is everything. Um, Not willing to be submissive in the right way. That goes back to allowing your woman to lead when the time's right, and knowing when to lead and knowing when to give up the reins. It does not make you a weak man when you allow your woman to lead. All right. There's some women out here that have degrees, and she may know way more than you on the subject. Let her lead you. Let her teach you. It's all good. Let her teach you. Being proactive in a relationship, and that applies in many different ways. Um, Wherever there's a lack of, be proactive in that lack. You know, everybody's relationship is different. Everybody situation is going to have their own battles. So whatever issues that she has with you, be more proactive in dealing with those issues. Whether that's she wants to be taken out more, or I mean, if that's a problem for you, maybe you could address that. But like, maybe it's like you don't ask her how her date went. So be more proactive on that. Be more proactive on wanting to have a good foundation. Be more proactive in developing a fulfilling relationship. Because once you guys get old, you're gonna be dealing with each other. If you guys have kids, once the kids are out the house and you're married, it's y'all two that are left. So make that relationship worth it. Make it something that you guys can love on for the rest of your lives. Make it something fulfilling and meaningful. One of the biggest things is lack of trust from past relationships or experiences. Trust is a very big one when it comes to dealing with marriages, partnerships, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Um, Once we've been hurt and traumatized in the past by other people, when it comes to trust, it can be hard maybe to fully trust somebody else. But if you know you got a good person, try. If we don't put ourselves in 100%, once it's all done and said and done, and we look back, we may be upset with ourselves because we didn't put in 100%. And I can honestly say the relationship that kind of went south for me just recently, I didn't put in 110% like I should have. You know, I've had trauma and issues from previous relationships or just previous situations in life that I wasn't fully committing myself. Um, yeah, and and sometimes it's not what you're doing; it's what you're not doing that could be the demise of the relationship. So everything that I mentioned pretty much also could apply for women as well. But also when it comes to the women, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, if you have a good relationship, if you have a good man, you know he's good and he's just has a chip on his shoulder or just dealing with some issues or overcoming some battles and things, stick with him. Stick with him. Help him. Help him get through those issues. Even if it means y'all both got to go through counseling, and if that doesn't work, I know we're knuckleheads as men. We're stubborn, you know. So I guess maybe if you've done put in a whole lot of work after years and you're still stagnant, I could say this: if you guys put in work and you guys truly love each other and cherish each other and want a fulfilling relationship, how about this? Maybe after some time things still haven't been working out the way that you guys planned or envisioned. Take some time, take a hiatus. That doesn't mean you guys date other people. That doesn't mean you guys see other people or have sex with other people. All it means is you guys are taking a hiatus, maybe away from each other, so that way both parties or one or the other can have some time to work on themselves fully. Because sometimes it can be a little frustrating to work on yourself and to work on a relationship and to deal with work and the rest of the world. So sometimes we may just need to step away for a little bit, refocus, rebalance, regroup, redirect, re-envision um, where our life is going in the relationship. And maybe through that, y'all guys may come out to find out, you know what, this really isn't for us. And maybe that may You guys may come out to find, hey, yo, I really do love this person. I really do love this man. I really do love this woman. And I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that um, we're gonna make this thing last. To see it through. Don't be afraid to take a break, man. I know a lot of people are afraid of if we take a break, that means the other partner is going to go off and do whatever. No. Hey, if you guys are really dedicated to it, sit down and make a plan and say, hey, we're going to take a break. That does not mean we're going to date other people, see other people, or have sex with other people. We're still going to be very much in contact with each other, FaceTime, texting. We're still going to be in contact with one another. But maybe just having that separation for a little bit can be a good thing. Especially in this day and age when there's so much left, right, up, and down that's hitting us at the same time. Sometimes we just need to get away and just, all right, just breathe. Just breathe. All right. So, women, if you have a strong man, if you have a good man, and this goes the same way for men. If you have a good woman, and she's the knucklehead or she's the stubborn one, y'all both have to make sure y'all cater to each other, nurture each other, have patience, with one another, and love. Have patience, patience. Listen to one another, instead of trying to listen to have a rebuttal or just to argue. Seek to communicate in positive ways, so that we're not going off into other domestic problems or whatnot. Then that start getting toxic. So really, really seek to understand your partner. Don't just like the good parts about the relationship. Really seek to understand them and what makes them them. Because what it is you guys have you guys may have a lot of interests, but you guys are also two different people. So you may have two different upbringings. So you have to understand what triggers her. You have to understand what triggers him. All right, and understand that it's okay. Just because something doesn't affect you doesn't mean it can't affect your partner. All right, and learn how to work with your disagreements. Learn how to work just through your differences in general when it comes to being a partner. Um, so yeah, so this video may not have been for everybody. This is for only for people who want fulfilling relationships. Like I said, if you just have a friends with benefit situation or just doing your own thing type thing, this may not be for you. But if you are seeking a fulfilling relationship, I say, hey, take some of the points that I mentioned and try to put it in effect in your life. Be proactive on all these things that I've mentioned. Like I said, I'm no advisor, no psychologist, no counselor, no consultant. This is all stuff that I've learned throughout my life, whether it's me personally or me looking in from the outside, looking into somebody else's relationship. All right. So one of the most important things to not forget, most of all, to love each other. Remember, when things get tough, when things get rough, when things get heated up, and in a debate, when you guys aren't seeing eye to eye, remember to stop, breathe, and love. Remember why you are there. Remember why you guys came together. Remember why you want to build a life with this person. Don't allow other people, don't allow the world to take you guys apart, to bring you guys to a place to where you're no longer friends, because we're here to help each other, not to be enemies. All right? Peace and love, y'all.